By Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakodash is 144, right on time. Put me on the spirit to make this video, even to the measure to reach onto you, people who don't even believe in the truth and, how everything was made. I seen this face in my forehead. Let me pull up a real picture of me. This is a scripture going along with this mark in my head. And, this thing is the testimony of the Most High God's Son, and the people who have his testimony. But basically what I want to go through, I was just on Instagram on one of the group chats and just putting down a testimony of, how I was tried like Abraham. And, I seen that mark in my forehead and, it goes in deep, y'all, so prepare yourselves for what I'm about to tell you. This is a testimonial as well as an edification and confirmation of the truth and testimonies of the truth. I want to start off giving a proper praise. Call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. All honor, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, for giving me this truth, who've been teaching this truth for over almost 50 years now, on the highways and byways, out in blistering weathers and all kinds of weather conditions, y'all. And they're not your regular pastors either. They're not your, they're gonna tell you exactly how it is, shooting straight from the hip and straight from the script. And that's just how it is, man. And they're looking for us. They're looking for, the people who are hopeful in this truth, who believe this thing fully for what it is. And, the Most High's got people out here who are, the Word made flesh. There's evil and there's good people out here. So, seeing that, both heavenly and earthly, so I don't want to speak too much, but it's just what it is. I don't want to make this video too long, but the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, man, they have been putting in work, and through the Holy Spirit, the Rakakodash, by the inspiration of the Most High, man, by the witness of the Spirit, man, and woman, if you are there. But this is Revelations 22:4. I seen this face in my forehead, and I overcame suicide. And I've been playing the piano about 17 years, and Illuminati tried to come after me. And here's something. All right, they got this show called Lucifer, right? Well, he only shows his face a few times, right? Well, I actually know what Satan looks like, and it's Jesus. It's who they worship in all these places. And I risk my life telling you these things because it's my testimony. It's what I've seen. It's what I've heard. It's where I've been, places I've been. I've been homeless. I've lost a lot of things, but I've gained a lot of spiritual things. And let me get right into it. So let's get into it. Okay. Everybody's seeing the signs, man. And this is just like edification. Satan shall cast some of you into prison. And so I was going into it, and I'll just read it right off. I remember when I got locked up, someone, something, energy, a force, entity that wasn't me, because no one knows you better than you. So you could, if your senses are open, then your understanding and your wisdom is open to remember these little things in life, even frustrations of the littlest things. Well, I got locked up, and the thing is, the fire, the vexation was in my bones, and I was basically sleeping on the ground. So with broke bones, with a broke neck, and I was being tried in there all various ways. Okay, I couldn't talk to family, I couldn't talk to anybody, but the Bible. You know, that's what I had. That's that truth and survival. So it wasn't my first time getting locked up. All right, but it was so there's but there was something. Every time I got locked up, I was learning something new about myself. And the last time I got locked up, I was standing at the top of the staircase, and I was being tried in my mind. Okay, it's like a thought. When you have a thought, an inspiration, the flesh can send you. Satan. He that's the thing. Satan. He in this realm, invisible. There's good and there's bad. So basically, I was standing at the top of the staircase, and it's about 2 stories down. And as I was looking down, a thought hit me, like, you know, because at this point I didn't know what was about to happen. I was waiting on a court date. I'm looking at time. You know what I mean? And last time I was in there, I was looking at 15 years for a crime that I was involved with. But still to this day, I stand fight for my innocency. And but at the same time, I was at the top of the staircase, and a thought hit my mind. You could end all your troubles if you just jump down. You can end it all. And suicide spoke of in the scriptures. And these doctors, these shrinks, they all know what this is, but they're set up to deceive, okay, and pull you away from the real truth, which is in the Bible. I went to Answers for Man, Psalm 69 and 20, but they're all telling me bullshit. So the thing is, at the end of the day, you gotta check stuff for yourself. And until I looked in the Bible and started reading 3 years to this day with His wisdom that He gave to me that night when I went out to meet Him, and I was tried in my mind, and overcame by His will, because that's the thing people don't understand. Like, if the Most High is done with you, he could damn near have you take yourself out. And I just tell people, watch out, because you don't know what this is about down here. We're all still figuring it out. And some of us have experienced things people will never experience until the end, and it's very heavy. But I was standing at the top of the staircase, and basically, I'd rather get shot by a bullet than, this is better to be killed by the sword than by hunger or, by your own hand, a cowardly death, that's what suicide is. But, I want to confirm being true. With temptations of all sorts, that's the thing. And this is how you know this is you. If you go around people who aren't, you're usually your usual crew is that's how you find you. Like, it's just the thing. Like, you gotta prove. You know what I mean? So the thing is, you gotta, just like King David. He didn't take that armor because he hasn't tried it yet. You know. So the thing is, Revelations 2:10, fear none of the things which thou shalt suffer, take it cheerfully. Well, that's that, and that's going to the scripture. Whatever befalleth thee, take it cheerfully, because the Most High is in full control. He's in control on the left hand and the right hand. I'm gonna bring that scripture up. Take it cheerfully. Behold, the devil, Jesus, Satan, the gods of this realm, shall cast you some of you into prison. And that's both physical and spiritual, because suicide is the spiritual side of prison, while the physical side is still there. Because when I went to prison, I had to see that. Oh, I didn't go to prison. When I went to jail, Um, when I went to jail for 3 years, I mean, that's the thing. When you don't got nobody to talk to, I mean, it's just like you gotta. That's when you really build you, and you know, um, that you may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. Um, matching Revelations 9:4. Be thou faithful unto death, and that death, I only know about that death because I'm still here today. That suicide. That's that death spoke of in Ezekiel 28 and verse 8 in the midst of the seas. Okay, that's that suicide. Being tried in your mind. Be thou faithful unto death. And that second Exodus 14 and 13 talks about the righteous names being manifest after that death, and then shall we live again, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. Um, and I will give thee a crown of life. And that's Ezekiel 16:12-14. I put a jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thy ears, and a beautiful crown upon thy head. And thy realm one throughout among the heathen. Let me pull it up. And I love this though, because Baruch 3 and 37, afterwards he did shew himself upon the earth and converse with men. And that's what, when I came out to meet him, at midnight, that it brought that all into, it brought out everything into sense. Like, I didn't know what happened to me that night. But like Job, that happened twice to me in my life, but I didn't understand. So the stars, the morning stars, shined in their watches, the night watches, and rejoice when he calleth them. The bridegroom cometh, come ye out to meet him. They say, here we be. And so with cheerfulness they shew light, shew knowledge, and, seek them, That's how you shew light onto something, is to be involved, to plug in, When you plug into a wall, the light comes on. They shoot light, so plug yourself into this Bible and get right, we want to make sure we got it right, but not everybody is chosen. That's why many are called, few are chosen. Those did not Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Lord, choose, neither gave he the way of knowledge unto them. But they were destroyed because they had no wisdom, and perished through their own foolishness. And who had gone up into heaven and taken her and brought her down from the clouds, and who had gone over the sea and found her and will bring her for pure gold. And that's what happened. Wisdom, she entered into my heart, Proverbs 2 and 10. And this is very heavy, shoot light onto what happened that night, and this is what I'm doing to this day. Here we be, and so with cheerfulness they shoot light unto him that made them. This is our God, and it goes back to Revelations, and that's where I first started, was, our God. I seen that in Revelations 7:3. Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed. They were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. And tribe Judah is the top tribe. So-called blacks. Gad is Native Americans. I'm still learning the 12 tribes chart. But Benjamin, they were the Jamaicans. Zebulun, the Haitians. But that's the thing. Prove all things. Just don't let the reverence of anybody cause thee to fall. And that's why we try to stay in this, because that's what we've done. We've fallen from this understanding, and we try to piece it together best we can. And that's that thing. When I went out to meet him, for there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which is glory and grace. Accept no person against thy soul, and let not the reverence, meaning the teaching, even me, of any man, cause thee to fall. See, but hide not thy wisdom in her beauty, though. You know, and it's the moon. She's more beautiful than the sun. I share that because I can't leave out wisdom, who she is. Wisdom of Solomon 7:29. For she is more beautiful than the sun, and above all order of the stars, being compared with the light she is found before it. And for the Most High God loveth none but him that doeth with wisdom. And she entered into my heart that night. 27 and 25. But being one, she can do all things, and remaining in herself, she maketh all things new, and in all ages entering into holy souls. She maketh them friends of the Most High God, Yahweh, and prophets. And if you look at that picture I have, it's got pure, it's influencive. So look at verse 25. She is the breath and power of the Most High God, Yahweh, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty Yahweh. Therefore, no defiled thing fall into her. Therefore, can no defiled thing fall into her Slakia. And, the Most High God, Yahweh, hath granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as is meet for the things that are given me, because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom and directeth the wise. For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also and knowledge of workmanship. So, like, even if a person sounds dumb, you go prove what he's saying, because it's, that's just what it is. But the same way I was tried, suicide and temptation to sacrifice someone else's life, that I went through that, and it was the scariest, dreadful thing I ever went through. Lamentations 3:20, might be 3:22. 3:22, let's just be, my soul have them still in remembrance. It's 20, yeah. My soul hath them still in remembrance, and it is humble to me. Those innumerable, those angels, the evil angels too. Okay, because they can pass me like bees. Oops. There we go. So and that's right there. I don't know. Let's go to Matthew 4:11. Wait, just like let's stay on. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Psalm 78:49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation and trouble, by sending evil angels among them to stir up our minds, to bring us back into remembrance. Astonishment, astonishment of heart. He made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence, and smote all the firstborn of Egypt, the chief of their strength, in the tabernacles of Ham. But made his own people to go forth like sheep, and guided them in the wilderness like a flock. And where he led us to wisdom. He led them on safely, as I just read. He leadeth unto wisdom and directeth the wise. He led them on safely, so that they feared not. But the sea overwhelmed their enemies, and that's suicide. Like, it was scary, but at the same time, he had that spirit of calmness on me too. So like, a cop seen the UFOs, and they was bugging out. You know what I mean? Dude, the cop stopped, turned on the signs, and flew past my house. Like, I live by a busy street, and this was seen, okay? Strangeness of his salvation. Job, but after that night, I was like, I was the only one that escaped, out of our people, It felt like a Marvel movie. Job 1:15, and behold, there came a great wind, the east wind, from the wilderness and smote the four corners of the house. And it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. And Luke 17:33. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. I tell you, and that night, and that's what happened that night, come ye out to meet him. There shall be two men in one bed, and one shall be taken and another shall be left. Just talking about the remnant, But the 2/3 is about to be knocked off the threshing floor. Wisdom of Solomon 17. But they sleep in the same sleep that night, which was indeed intolerable, and which came upon them out of the bottoms of an edible hell, were partly vexed with monstrous aberrations, and partly fainted. That's going back to Isaiah 44. He fainted and his strength faileth, or something like that. Their heart failing them, for a sudden fear and not looked for came upon them, meaning it can't be avoided. So then whosoever there fell down was straightly kept shut up in a prison without iron bars. Suicide. This had to happen. This is why people commit suicide, and because they choose not to fear the Most High Yahweh, but the fear of the world. That's why they die or get locked up in all these philosophies. But the elect, we're going to prevail, we're going to overcome. Those who are born of the Most High God are going to overcome. Job 34:20. In a moment, so sudden fear, in a moment shall they die, and the people shall be troubled at midnight. And that's what happened. Our people did, and pass away, both the good and the bad. And the mighty shall be taken away without hand. I just told people at midnight I went out to meet him. 1 Corinthians 15:52. Suddenly, in a moment, and in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall be sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Suddenly, we're going to have to, for this corruption, mortal body must put on the immortal body, put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. And, I went out to meet him. The moon was full. Matthew 25:6. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. And Sirach 39:12. Yet I have more to say, which I have thought upon, for I am filled as the moon at full. And I only know that parable because it was at midnight when all this happened, understanding and stuff came. Sirach 50:5-6. How he was honored in the midst of the people, and his coming out of the sanctuary. Yahweh, he was as the morning star in the midst of a cloud, and as the full at the moon. That could be Yahweh Shai, Revelations 12:5. I was called up that night, so you go read wisdom called up a man-child who should rule all the nations, Give me wisdom that sitteth by thy throne, and reject me not from among thy children. Wisdom of Solomon 9:4. It's actually matching Psalms 40 and verse 2. And Exodus 33:21. That rock, alright? For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded. Brought 3 morning stars, the stars shined in their watches. Okay, the night watches, and rejoice when he calleth them, go ye out to meet him, They say, because that's our judgment. If you ain't got judgment, you're not saved. That's the thing. If you're not hearing the judgment, man, that means he's shutting his mouth, man. And that's when you should be very worried. The stars shine in their watches and rejoice when he called them. They say, here we be, and so with cheerfulness they shew light unto him that made them. Yahweh, this is our God, and shall none other be counted in comparison of him. Afterward did he shew himself upon earth and converse with men. And that's what I want to bring out, Suicide isn't what people think, man. So this is the thing. Oh, death. Okay, watch this. Right here. Oh, death. Oh, death. I'm recording, man. Alright, Eclecticus 4:28. Strive for the truth unto death. And Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, the Lord shall fight for thee. Is it not a grief unto death when a companion and friend is turned to an enemy? Hey, for real, you feel that in your soul, man. But this is that suicide, man. Eclecticus 41:1. Oh, death. Because death isn't new to us, We've died before, we just don't know it, Oh, death, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possessions, unto the man that hath nothing to vex him, and that hath prosperity in all things. Yeah, unto him that is yet able to receive meat. And that's what it is. Oh, suicide, oh, death. You know what I mean? O death, acceptable is thy sentence unto the needy, and unto him whose strength faileth, matching Isaiah 44, that is now in the last age, and is vexed with all things. That's my bones, I'm all knotted up. Look up the word knots in the Bible. For health he prayeth unto one which is weak, alright? And that almost killed me praying to that Jesus, man. And to him that despaireth and hath lost patience. And that's just, this is wisdom, man. It's just wisdom, the fear, the old death, the fear. That is it, the fear. That's why they say the fear, this is pull it right up, the fear of the Yahweh, the Lord, is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever. And that's why we've been telling y'all the fear, choose the fear. The world of this fear ain't gonna save you. Okay? The wisdom and stability of thy times. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So it's two things you have to get, wisdom. Boom. Wisdom hath built her house, and she hath hewn out 7 pillars. She hath killed her beasts, and hath mingled her wine. She hath also furnished her table. Who is simple, let him turn in hither. So, old sins into death, many shall be called, that's a calling right there. As for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, come and eat of my bread and drink of my wine, which I have mingled. The Big Dipper, that's an analogy I use, the Most High. The Big Dipper is that mingled cup, to look up. And that's the fear of Yahweh, the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased. If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself. But if thou scornest, thou alone shalt bear it. And that's true, man. And that's just in this truth, man. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee, and rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. So, like, if you really cared about a friend telling you truth over a lie, you'd love them, you know what I mean? So, it's because it saves your life. And the verse, we're going to match this up with Proverbs 2:10. Okay, because wisdom entered into my heart, but this is for her house, verse 18. For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead. None that go unto her again, none that go unto her return again, neither take they hold of the paths of life. So let me put this into perspective. Proverbs 9:18. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. Like Job has the treasures open unto thee. That's beautiful though. I went to hell to see salvation. You have to go to hell to get salvation. People don't understand that. People are scared of that, but we're already here. You know what I mean? So I hope you guys found this edifying. And discretion shall preserve thee. Understanding shall keep thee. So if you know these things, if somebody was telling you this is gonna happen, you're gonna be more prepared for it. Than when you're not prepared. So that's why it was unpleasant for me. Nobody ever told me this. For we have walked in unpleasant places. And wisdom, is very unpleasant to the unlearned. And he that is without understanding will not remain with her. And, I just hope you guys find this edifying. Call Hala Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem Rakakodash, Barakatah. Shalom.